And that, my friends, is damn good branding. What up, Flow fam? Welcome back to my channel. My name's Luminous, and today we are talking about branding. That is something we definitely need here in the Flow Arts. And for those of you that don't know, once a month I take the time to talk about marketing in the Flow Arts. Just one time. All the rest of the time it's usually Leviwand stuff, and more Leviwand stuff, and finger guns. Usually it is about the wand life, but today we're talking about the marketing life and how important it is for Flow artists to have good branding. And come on, we're artists. Our branding should be top-notch. It should look epic. So good. So of course this video is going to be good for performers, event producers, prop makers, anybody in the field that needs to sell something and you need colors and branding, because everybody needs colors and branding. Stay tuned, because I'm going to help you out. I'm going to help you. I'm helping. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about a bunch of different companies. None of them paid me to talk about them. So just so you know, I will be linking all of the companies down below. So that way, if you want to support them, go for it. They're all amazing people. I support them and love them so much. And if you guys have questions and you want to talk to your peers about marketing, you can head on over to our Facebook group, and I'll put that link in the description down below, so that way you can go ahead and join that, because it's always good to be able to talk to your peers and kind of converse with other people about these things, because we're all learning together, and together we're going to succeed, and we're going to bring the Flow Arts to everybody. You know, that's all I really want. I just want everybody to Leviwand secretly. Don't Leviwand secretly, but I secretly want everyone. Actually, it's not a secret. I'm lying to you. Everybody should get a Leviwand. They're great. And before we jump into things, make sure to give this video a like, leave me a comment, and don't forget to hit those notification bells. That way you will get notified when I post new content. And we also have the wizards of the channel. And the wizards of the channel are Flow Toys, Astro Hoops, Matrix Fire Safety, Fun and Motion Toys, The Weaving Witch, Pyroterra Light Toys, and Flow DNA. Thanks, friends! Alright, so let's jump into it. So today we are going over 5 different things that you need to have down for your branding to look real good, real professional. So the first thing we're going to talk about is colors. Ho ho, colors! Branding and colors are the most important thing. Those colors, you look at them, you'll know immediately what company it is. If I were to just like throw up pink and blue for a company, who would you think of? Me. You know, who else has those color combos in the Flow Arts? Nobody. That's me. So you want to pick something that is definitely going to stand out a bit. I definitely would suggest looking up some color theory, because a lot of marketing ties back into psychology and sociology, which is quite fascinating, and it'll help you a lot with marketing. So a thing that you'll see a lot when you're like driving down the road is red signs. You know, all the fast food places have red in them. All the big places that want you to look at it has red in them. Red is very irritating to the eyes, and so is yellow. Like there's colors that are just like, you know, eyeballs. And I feel like picking those colors is kind of like you could have tried harder maybe. So I would suggest, you know, staying away from reds. You'll see, you know, logos in the Flow Arts communities that range from a wide different range of colors. You take a look at Flow Toys' logo, it's blue. It's a very cool color. It's not like stand out in your face like gonna melt your retinas, but it's definitely something that is very iconic with them. And when you're thinking about your color choices, think about what your brand is. When you think about Flow Toys, it's flow, it's water, it's cool. But think about that when you go for your branding. The reason I picked teal and pink, so of course, obviously, my absolute favorite color is teal. But my second favorite color is actually green. But why did I choose pink instead of blue and green? Pink stands out and it complements the blue very well. So you see that color combo and you're immediately like, ah, yes, I'm looking at that. Not quite as like aggressive as red, but pink definitely is just like, ooh, what's up? So definitely think about that when you are picking your colors. And when you got your colors, Use those colors for everything. I want to be able to like look at it and be like, that's so-and-so. I know exactly who that is, you know? Because what you're doing essentially with your branding is you're pushing that narrative of your brand. Like anytime you see that logo, you're like, oh, this is what that stands for. Like the Flow Toys logo is just like an F with a circle around that. It doesn't say anything about like Flow Toys, and you're not entirely sure what it is, but you don't need to know what it is because they have pushed that branding so hardcore. So when you pick those things, stick with it. So once you have your branding set, it is very difficult to change it. Like you've definitely seen some companies where they switch their branding completely and it's like, who dis? What are you doing? What is this? All right, so let's move on into logos. So we're gonna go over some examples of bad logos and some good logos and like what makes them good and what makes them bad. So that way when you go to either make your logo or hire a designer to make it for you, you'll understand and know what exactly you're looking for. All right, so since we've already been talking about Flow Toys, and we're gonna be talking about them a lot because they do have spectacular branding. Spectacular. Branding. So with logos, you can do a wide range of things. You could have like a simple logo, like the Flow Toys logo, where it's just an F with a circle around it. It doesn't really say what the company is though. So that is a hard one when you're creating a shape or something like that. You need to make sure that it's going to really represent your company and like the way that it looks when it's just a shape. So the shapes themselves can be very difficult and it doesn't work for every company. Like for me, for instance, I don't actually use a shape. I use my name as my logo and my face, which is something that I can switch around a bit more easily than say if it was like an actual logo. So like this, which you can do that. So mine isn't like super stylized. It's very, you know, simple, pink bubblegummy, like Lux Luminous, you know what you're gonna get. So going down the name route, you also have people like Brad Bishop. Shout out to Brad Bishop. Much love to you, my friend. Such a talented human being. Ugh. Link will be down below. Go check them out. So he actually has two versions of his logo, which you can do this with your logo, especially if it's a name. So I'm gonna show you now. So you see here, he has his full name and then he also has a shortened version. So that definitely helps because when you're thinking about merchandising or if you're gonna use it as a watermark or you're gonna put it on things, having different versions of it will definitely help you a lot. That way it's more versatile in the things that you can do with it. So Brad's logo was actually made by Cassandra Smythe, who I absolutely adore. She is an incredible designer. I wish I had the skills she has. She's just amazing. Love her. I'll also link her down in this description down below as well. So with Brad's logo, they were actually able to tell a little story with it. So all the hats on his logo actually represent all of the hats that he wears within the circus community. Adorable, right? Adorable. And juggling, you know, it meshes. So you can have something that, you know, has a little bit more meaning. Sometimes you can have something that's super literal as well. You can definitely tell by looking at it that it's a logo for a performer. So another thing with logos is that when you're creating these things, you don't want it to confuse people. When I look at Brad's logo, I know he's a performer. Like instantly, I'm like, performer. Oh, probably a juggler, you know, with the hats and all the things. So you can definitely clue people in to the different things that you do with your logo. So that's definitely something to think about. So then you have logos like Leviwand Dance, which is a very literal logo. And it was made by Ehrlich. Again, I love you, Ehrlich. I love everybody. So as I'm going through this, I'm just gonna be like gushing about how cool my friends are. Sorry, not sorry. But Ehrlich made this logo. So it's a Leviwander with the trail path around them. It's a very, very literal logo. Like you look at it, Leviwander. You know exactly what that is. The lines are really nice. It's very well done. And it's very simple. Simple is really good with logos. Same with Flow Toys. Very, very simple design. You don't want something that's really busy. Because again, you have to think about if you're gonna be putting it on clothing, if you're gonna be putting it on stickers or things like that, like how is that going to transfer on to different items? So with a image like this, very simple, you can do a screen print, very cheap, you know, boom, boom, and you're done. With other logos that are really busy, you have to use a bunch of different colors, and it could actually cost you more money in the long run to have all that busyness. So there is an example I wanna show you of a bad logo, but before I show you the logo, I wanna let you know that they did fix it and they made it a lot better. And I'll show you that logo as well, so that way you could see where they were going wrong as well as where they went right with it. So this logo, from Rock and Flow. They're a festival out in Wisconsin. Really great people, lovely event, but their logo is a little too much. It's too much. You're looking at it, it's kind of like a whole lot of things. Like you could tell it's kind of juggling, but it also looks like a kid event. So just looking at it, you're like, is this something, you know, that's for everybody? Is it for kids? The logo itself is just a lot. And it's also hard to read. So you can have a logo that doesn't have words, but if you have words, it needs to be readable. It needs to be readable from like far away. I need to be able to be like, okay, yeah, that's Brad Bishop, or yeah, that's Rock and Flow. And this one is kind of difficult to read. But they redeemed themselves and they came up with this logo. So if you take a look at this logo, it is much simpler. And the thing with logos, less is more. Simple, simple, simple. You need to have simple. And you can still tell that this logo is about juggling, about flow arts. Like I look at it, I'm like, okay, juggling, yes, got it. Festival, cool. And a logo can really tell your audience what the event is about. So those are the kinds of things to really think about when you're going to like design your logo or have somebody design it for you, and have those things in mind. So that way when you go to present to that person or when you're making it, that you're not like going overboard and making something that's just like too much. So now we're gonna talk about cross-platform branding. So what that means is if you've got a YouTube and an Instagram and a Facebook and a LinkedIn and, you know, all the social platforms, if this is for your business, it needs to be matching all the way through, which I do a fairly good job of that. I haven't switched over my Instagram photo and I've never actually changed my Instagram photo, and I feel like people wouldn't know who I am if I changed it now. So I don't know, I should change it. But as you can see here, my YouTube and my Facebook both match. It's really important to have that because if I'm jumping on your YouTube channel and then I go to your Facebook and it's like completely different branding with different colors and different photos, it's gonna like kind of throw me off. You want your branding to be really cohesive. You know, you're gonna stick to this coloring, you're gonna stick to these logos, and you're gonna like hammer it in hard because you want that to be ingrained in people's minds. You know, they see it and they're like, yeah, Lux Luminous, or yeah, Flow Arts, yada yada. So the next one is if you have an Instagram. If you have an Instagram and it's your professional business Instagram, do not be posting things about food. Do not be posting random walks with your dog. You know, unless that is what your business is about. You want to make sure that your Instagram feed is about the things that you do, which I know my Instagram has not been as lively as it usually is because I'm stuck in quarantine and there's not really a whole lot to gram about right now. It could just be me with my cat. Always. Just me every day with my cat. She's like, I love you. Because with Instagram, you can use Instagram as a portfolio. So it's something that I'll put on my business card to go check out my Instagram. And it'll have like all of my performance photos and like photo shoots and like things that are related to the work that I do. So I'm gonna show you Leviwand Dance's Instagram. And as you can tell, the colors are matching. The things that he has on there are relevant to Leviwand and dance. So when you're curating your Instagram feed, make sure that it's like cohesive. You wanna make sure that it looks really professional and people know exactly what they're gonna get. Because if you're like always posting dance videos and then all of a sudden it's a picture of your pizza, girl, we do not need to know what your pizza looks like. I mean, you can definitely post that in your stories because that goes away, but like your feed needs to look more professional. And that'll definitely help you if you're trying to get brand deals or different gigs and stuff and people are looking at your Instagram, trying to see what you're all about. It's important. And lastly, let's talk about packaging. Ugh. And this goes back to Flow Toys, because holy mother, have they figured out packaging. The reason why you want to put a lot of effort into your packaging, and you don't have to do it right off the bat, this can definitely be something down the line in your business, but the reason being is as a person opening the box, you know, having that extra touch and you're opening it, it just feels extra special. And it feels really good to open it up and it's like, oh, look at this and this. It's, ah. So we're gonna go ahead and take a look at a few things that FloToys has done. So they've done bags, they've done mats, they've done tape for their boxes. Amazing, great touch. Tissue paper. This tissue paper, having my Leviwand wrapped up in this tissue paper and unwrapping it, loved it. This all goes back to having your logo always out there. You're pushing this narrative of what your company is, who you are. So you're seeing the logo on the boxes and the things all over the place. And it's such a good thing to do because it puts it in people's minds. I know for the rest of my life, if I see that F with a circle around it, I will always immediately think of FloToys. That memory will come back immediately. And that, my friends, is damn good branding. Alrighty friends, so that wraps up this video on branding. This was actually a really fun video to do, getting to like find all these logos and stuff. And I'm like, and all the colors, it's fun. I really hope this video helps you figure out your branding and where you want to go with it and like kind of answer some of those questions. Nobody really sat me down to like tell me these things, which would have really helped in the beginning because together we're gonna help the floor art succeed and get more people involved in the art form. Oh, Wandavas, Wandavas. If you're new or lurking, welcome to the Wand Life. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you have any questions at all, always leave me a comment down below and I will help you out. And this channel is brought to you by my wonderful Patreon supporters. If you want to become a Patreon supporter, you can head on over to my Patreon, where you can be involved in my channel, or you can head on over to my website, luxluminous.com, where I have lots of fun floor arts related clothing, and every single bit of money raised goes directly into funding this channel. So that way I can keep bringing you more content. See you all on the wand side.